Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. I'm Kobe. We got Mike with me today. How we doing?
Good, man. We had a great week of football.
We did. Week one is officially wrapped up, and we're going to dive into some of that. A little bit of power rankings, some highlights, and all sorts of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, starting out today, we have a new segment called Top 5 in 5, where we're going to
hmm
dive into some of the top 5 stories in football um, this weekend. And first, starting off, QB of the future. So, I mean, who has the most promise with these two? I know, Caleb had a full year last year and JJ just had the one start, but who are you more confident in, Caleb or JJ?
It's kind of tough to decide right now. I mean, Chicago has more around Williams. They have an offensive uh, minded head coach, so you kind of think Caleb Williams would have had more success in week one. So I'm going to give the slight edge to JJ right now. Came
hmm
out in the second half, made improvements, and won the football game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially since Caleb had a full season, and they put even more weapons around him. He was able to show that he was able to move around in the pocket last night, but I do think that JJ did show a lot yesterday,
hmm
and I have more faith. Let me just say that early on with
Yeah.
JJ becoming a franchise QB than Caleb. Um, yeah, so we'll see. Uh, they have a long career ahead of them, and we'll get to see.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a couple years before we really know which one is, going to be a franchise QB.
hmm
Then moving into some dark days in Miami. I know it's normally sunny, but it's some dark days out there. I mean, they looked horrible.
yeah.
This weekend they got a lot going on down there.
I know in our week one picks episode, we both picked Miami. We were talking about how they have the offensive minded head coach, all these weapons on offense. But man, they did not show any of that.
hmm
Tyreek Hill being heated on the sidelines, and yeah, just not a good look. And I think
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel even said week two, there's no possible way it could be worse than week one. So
hmm
who knows? Maybe a bounce back week for them this week. But
Yeah, they looked pretty bad. And there was because everybody had some high expectations on them. They're pretty a loaded team. We think that they had a good roster going into the season, but they didn't show it. And
no,
facing a team like the Colts, which we'll get into later, um, we wouldn't think that score was going to turn out like it did on Sunday, but they definitely have to turn that around because it can spiral really quickly.
oh yeah, definitely.
So, and then next, I mean, it was that was a bad game, but then we had some good performances as well.
We did.
Aaron Rodgers, return, to face the Jets, and then also Fields facing his old team against the Steelers. And then, we spoke about Daniel Jones having a good game against the Dolphins. So, what do you think about these three QBs? Who more impressed you out of the three?
Well, if you look at the three, Aaron Rodgers was brought in to be the starter. Justin
hmm
Fields was brought in to be the starter. Daniel Jones was brought in to maybe potentially be the backup there for Anthony Richardson, but won the job, got the job, and came out and showed that it is his job. So,
hmm
and I mean, Daniel Jones has kind of shown flashes here and there. Nothing's like really stood out, but man, he had it clicking on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And all three QBs kind of faced different adversity. Like you said, Daniel Jones, he wasn't expected to be QB1 behind Richardson. And then with Fields, he had the early on injury, during the offseason, something with his finger. He recovered quickly from that, and he had a good outing against the Steelers. And then Aaron Rodgers, he's fighting Father Time, and he really showed that he is still a good QB in the league, and he had a lot to prove against the Jets. So it was a nice showing from all three QBs.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then a lot of injuries with the 49ers lately.
Yeah.
I know it came out today that Kittle's placed on an IR, but battling
Mhm.
a lot of injuries, similar to last year.
Yeah, they had quite a few uh, going into the game,
Mm-hmm.
especially with wide receivers losing Debo. So I think that you would be relying on Kittle to kind of be your primary pass catcher,
Right.
and now you're at least 4 weeks without him. They did bring in Kendrick Bourne, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean that's a huge loss to an offense that's probably going to rely more on Christian McCaffrey than they have before.
Yeah, and Bourne, I was hoping that the Commanders picked him up. I saw that he had visits with the 49ers and the Commanders, but that was a good get by them. But yeah, like you said, I mean, they have Jennings, he's day to day with a shoulder. Purdy has a toe and I believe a shoulder. So yeah, definitely a lot of injuries that they're trying to work through. And like you said, McCaffrey, he's so it seemed like fragile nowadays, and his
Yeah.
workload. I mean,
I mean, he
I think
produced
he had
on
over 30
Sunday, but
touches. Yeah,
yeah, that is not going to hold up through a
right,
17 game season.
right. And then to finish up, I mean, coaches that are in the hot seat, like we said, McDaniels, he's definitely in the hot seat, and the Bengals coach as well, Taylor and Dayball as well, kind of all on the hot seat right now.
Yeah. One not listed here that I am a little bit more familiar with than the other would be Kevin Stefanski. I
Mm,
mean, 40-44 record in his tenure here, and he has had success. He has got us to the playoffs, but a lot of that is like driven behind the defense. His play
mhm,
calling is still lackluster.
mhm,
It's a lot of screens, little dump offs, and like there was a couple of times on 3rd and 7 where we're dumping it off to the line of scrimmage, trying to make people miss. Like at some point, you need to be aggressive, uh, get the ball down the field, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much longer that play style is gonna hold up.
Yeah, yeah, definitely agree. And Dayball, I mean, he's looked at as a good coach, but his record does not show for it. He's 18-32-1 during his tenure with the Giants. So, and with usually when teams bring in a new QB, they also like to kind of bring in a whole new front office. But
Mhm.
he's definitely on a hot seat. But I think McDaniels, if things don't turn around, I don't know if he's going to finish the season off.
No, and I think someone had previously mentioned even before the season started that he would be on the hot seat this year, and then after that week 1 performance, he is definitely the front runner
Right.
to be gone.
Yep. Yep. So let's get into some games.
Yeah.
So first, I mean, since we already brought them up, Dolphins versus Colts. Um, that was an interesting game. Dolphins 8, Colts 33. Um, what did you see from this one?
Um, I saw a lot of things I wasn't expecting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned earlier, you look at the Dolphins offense. When Tua is healthy, he seems to, you know, seems to be at his best, along with Waddle and Hill, their ability to run
Mm-hmm.
the ball, and all of that was just not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about Daniel Jones. I mean, 22 of 29, 272, 3 total touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor still did his thing, 18 carries, 71. I mean, that's what you want. I mean, yeah, I did not see this beatdown coming like this.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, the Dolphins wasn't able to do anything. They wasn't able to establish a run game. Only 7 rushes for 55 yards for A-Chain, and Tyreek Hill 4 receptions for 40 yards. That's not Tyreek Hill numbers.
Mm-mm.
And turnovers, big thing that stands out is the 2 interceptions by Tua.
Yeah,
Definitely can't turn the ball over and expect to win against any team, but especially first game of the year against the Colts. And they probably, I'm thinking maybe they wasn't as focused as they should have been. I mean, Colts wasn't looked at as going to be this, high scoring, dominant team. So they probably went into the game lackluster or not as focused as they should have been. And then they got beat. Daniel Jones, like
yeah.
you said, was very accurate. Also ran the ball. We know he can scramble a little bit. 7 rushes, 26 yards, and 2 rushing TDs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to establish the run with Taylor getting his 71 yards. So they both have some tough games coming up. Like the Dolphins face the Patriots. They'll need to bounce back
Yeah.
against that one. And the Colts have a tough matchup against the Broncos.
Yeah, I think the Colts going against the Broncos, who have a much tougher defense than the Dolphins do. That'll be a tough task
Yeah.
for Daniel Jones and those guys. So I'm interested to see if they can be dominant like that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I agree. The next highly anticipated Bengals versus Browns game. Talk to me, man. How do you have you recovered yet?
No, and I won't.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes because it doesn't get better as the season goes on. So it kind of just weighs more and more on you.
Yeah.
But man, we had this game won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talked about it. This defense is the tone setter for this team. And we talked about how the Bengals have this high-powered offense. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins did absolutely nothing. I mean, we had to. We didn't have any turnovers. I think we had 4 or 5 sacks. They ran the ball on us pretty well their first drive. We made adjustments, and just the same old offense just cannot get anything going.
Mm-hmm.
We had drop passes on 3rd and 5 and 4th and 5 back-to-back plays. The 2 interceptions were perfect. Well, maybe not perfectly thrown balls, but they were thrown well enough that they should have been caught. But instead, they're tipped up in the air, brought in by the defense. And then the thing that kills me the most, this rookie kicker who won the award for the best kicker in college football comes in, shanks an extra point that would have put us up 3, and then a chance at redemption, a 30-something yard field goal, pushes another one wide right. Being a Browns fan is comical because they find new ways to lose every single week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those kickers, man, they had a tough weekend. We'll talk about a couple more situations later, but yeah, the kicking stood out to me. And also another thing you brought up was the Bengals offense was not there. I think Chase had 2 catches maybe for 20 something yards. Similar for Higgins. Their leading receiver was the tight end with 4 receptions, 26 yards. Burrow didn't look like himself. They couldn't really establish a run game. They tried to stay with it, but running game didn't really do anything. And like you said, this was a game that the Browns should have won. Flacco did enough. I think he did. This game wasn't on Flacco.
No.
Like you said, the 2 interceptions, I don't think was his fault. They, hit the receivers in the hands and they just, bobbled it. And the only thing that really stands out for the Browns is the running game. It looked like Sampson having 12 rushes for 29 yards. He did, have 64 yards in receiving, but
Yeah.
it still was not on Flacco. All that.
No.
If he made his kicks, we would probably be, having a different conversation.
Yeah.
So very tough. And then, with them going into Baltimore next week, that was a game you got to have because it's not going to get any easier.
It's not. No.
Mm-hmm. And then the Bengals are at home against the Jaguars. But hey, NFL, you never know how it's gonna shape out. Hopefully, maybe the Browns will shock us next week.
Nah, I don't think so. But
all right, next we have Vikings at Bears. Monday Night Football. It was a great fourth quarter. Early in the game, it wasn't wasn't very entertaining. Caleb Williams looked great in the first half. He was able to move around in the pocket, hit some open receivers. They did try to establish the run, but he was able to break out a lot. It seemed like the Vikings had him in their grasp like a few times, and he was able to escape and run for some yards. But then, and JJ looked inept in the first half and the first three quarters. Threw a pick six. Didn't look comfortable in the pocket, but it seems like after the pick six, he really turned the corner, turned it on, and you could just see that look in his eyes where he wanted to win, and he did that. So, yeah, how'd you see this game playing out?
Well, I kind of quit paying attention to the game after that pick six. Like, well, that's as long as it's one of those situations. Well, as long as nothing crazy happens, this game's just going to be, over with. And the first half of that game, Justin Jefferson was looking like those other notable wide receiver ones, like Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, who were pretty much just non-existent. And I mean, by Justin Jefferson standards, 4 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown is not ideal, but that's a big second half performance after what they did in the first half. JJ locking in, getting them the points needed, and I was not expecting to wake up this morning and be like, holy cow, the Vikings came back and won this game. But
yeah, and Kevin McConnell definitely showed why he is one of the top coaches in the league, and Ben Johnson showed that why he is a new coach. I mean, Kevin O'Connell was able to keep McCarthy calm throughout the game, still have the confidence in him, and put that confidence in him for him to know that he could bring them back from being down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. And then with Ben Johnson, his play calling in the second half changed up. But his play calling changed, but also Caleb Williams didn't look as comfortable as he did early on in the game. He was missing wide open receivers. So he just looked similar to what he looked like last year in the fourth quarter. So he definitely has a lot to work on. And now he's 0-2 against quarterbacks that was drafted in. I know he lost to JD5 last season. Now he lost to McCarthy. It's not a good look for that QB draft class. As far as Caleb Williams,
number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. So, and now going, he's facing the Lions in Detroit next week. Doesn't get easier for Chicago. So, and Vikings, they are
they got a tough one too.
Falcons. Yeah. Let's see. Next we have the Sunday night football game, Ravens versus the Bills. This was a blow for blow heavyweight fight. 2 great teams going against each other. Ravens 40, Bills 41. This was a great game. Baltimore just kind of gave it away at the end.
They did. And this was another game. I went to bed and I was like, Man, the Ravens just have the Bills number this year. I woke
Mhm.
up, saw a notification on my phone. It was Josh Allen talking about people leaving during the game. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I was like, the score must have got even worse for them if he was like, I thought he was gonna be mad at fans for leaving. Like, you don't leave till this game's over. We're still fighting. And I pulled it up and I saw the score. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
that's why he was. And then I went through the highlights. Man, Josh Allen is just a different creature out there.
Yeah.
Like, just I like you think of like Lamar Jackson, his build, and like how he's considered a running quarterback, and he
Mhm.
does, but there's just something about the way Josh Allen does it. Like you just can't count out the Buffalo Bills ever. It seems.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Allen definitely showed why he was an MVP last season. And they just stuck with it. Early on in the game, Baltimore seemed like they was going to run away with it. But in the second half, the Bills just turned it on. They kept grinding, Pauls, and you know, both defense and offensive lines really stepped up. It
Yeah,
looked like they won the battle in the trenches. You know, Allen passed for almost 400 yards, 2 TDs, 2 rushing touchdowns.
it's crazy.
Yeah, and Coleman had a big game with over 100 yards. But what shouldn't go unnoticed is that Ravens is still an elite team.
Yeah,
They if Derrick Henry didn't fumble in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, probably would have came away with the win. He had almost 200 yards, 169, 2 TDs. Flowers stepped up with 143 yards and a touchdown. So both teams will be, very good at the end of the season. It was nice having this matchup though early in the season, week
yeah.
one.
I
Hmm.
mean, I do believe both teams will play each other again in the playoffs, and I think we talked about that before. Like it's a treat seeing these two teams play like this early in the season, and just
Hmm.
looking at that, those are video game numbers from everybody on there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
because you look at like you mentioned Coleman, 8 catches, 112 yards, a touchdown. Well, then you go up to Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Josh Allen over 400 yards total yards, 4 touchdowns.
Hmm.
Like, I like don't get me
Lamar had
wrong.
two
I love a
passing and one rushing.
yeah. I love a good like defensive game. Like just defenses just going back and forth, and like maybe somebody wins like 9-3, 10-6, or something like that. But
Yeah.
these games like this are like if you're a fan in the stadium and this is going on, you just can't believe, especially being down what 40-25,
Hmm.
and then like and you're just watching them claw back. I mean, man, that's gotta be a fun experience.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I'm glad you brought up fans in the stadium because the Bills fans are ridiculous.
That's Bills Mafia, baby.
Yeah, I saw on one of Derrick Henry's touchdowns, it was a bottle that came flying in from the stands, and then later in the game, Lamar Jackson got pushed by a fan as he was walking by, and that
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
did get
I did see that.
yeah. So I know they removed that fan; he won't be able to come back. But yeah, that atmosphere was definitely playoff atmosphere,
Oh,
and
for sure.
this was a good one.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. And next we have Bucks versus Falcons, another close divisional game. Came down to the wire. I know we spoke about kickers earlier, and
Man.
Koo, he definitely let the Falcons down with this one. Had a chance to tie the game up when time expired, and he missed wide right. But Baker did Baker things. He scored the go-ahead touchdown with little time left in the game. So this was another good one, but Penix looked good as well.
Yeah.
This game was up for grabs. Two good teams.
Yeah, I'm always gonna have a special place for Baker Mayfield. He's always gonna be like the one that got away for us.
Hmm.
And being an Ohio State fan, I was super excited for Emeka Ibuka to end up in Tampa Bay, especially with the Chris Godwin injury. having him be able to step in right away alongside Mike Evans. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but Mike Evans came out and said it. They were in the huddle for like that last play, and Abuka was like, "Hey, I'm going to run a post. I'm going to catch it. We're going to win this game."
Oh man!
And Mike Evans was like, "You know what? Hey, let's do that."
Wow!
Ran the post, cut to the end zone, ball game. A rookie in his first NFL game, pretty much called game. That's
amazing.
That's crazy to hear. But yeah, the Falcons too. The Michael Penix experiment is up and running full speed. He made a lot of good throws, but then when you got guys like Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and I think their defense is normally pretty solid too. I think they're set to have a pretty good season as well, especially in that division.
Yeah, I totally agree with
those are by far the two top teams.
Yeah,
in that division. So
by far,
yeah,
that's a 2-team race in that division. And then we have the Steelers and Jets finishing up with them. Steelers 34, Jets 32, with Fields and Rodgers going against their previous teams. Rodgers and Fields had a great day, but Rodgers ended up taking this one. This was a good one too.
Yeah, and like Aaron Rodgers is gonna he can still throw the ball. I mean, I'd say him and Joe I mean, not like talent wise, but they have like the same skill set. They can both sling it, but once you get them moving in the pocket, it's a little bit scary. But yeah, Rodgers was able to throw the ball all over the place. Fields, who has shown off his running ability in the past, was doing what he needed to do. And the thing that kills me the most about this game was the timing, because right after our kicker missed to go at the winning field goal, the Steelers kicker hits like a 60-yard game-winning field goal, and
crazy.
It's like like I said, it doesn't end. Like, we shot ourselves in the foot, and then the Steelers still found a way to like shit on us even more, like as they always do. But yeah, this was another fun game. I was really hoping the Jets were going to pull this one out, because I never want the Steelers to win anything. But as long as Coach Tomlin's there, we talked about coaches on the hot seat. He might just be there forever. So
yeah, and even though the Jets lost, they have a lot to look forward to. Fields, he looked really good. In the run game, 19 rushes for 107 yards for Breece Hall, and Wilson almost got over 100 with a touchdown. So even though the Bills lost, they showed that they was able to put up some points. Probably need to work on that defense a little, but look like they're on the right, going on the right direction. And they face the Bills though, which will be tough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Bills are the front runner in that division, but with the way the Patriots look, the way the Dolphins look, I mean, they should be right in the mix.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree. Yeah. So now we have the next segment going into our top 5 teams.
A lot of new segments this week. This is fun.
Yep. Going into this week, our top 5 teams.
The extreme team list.
Let's see. Who do we have at number 5 this week? Let's see if we get a drum roll, bongos. We have the LA Chargers.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Chargers look great Friday against the Chiefs. So not a big shocker.
No, and we had both picked the Chargers to win. I think I want to say they still would have won if that game was at Arrowhead, but having it be like a neutral field might have had something to do with it. But the Chargers weren't really making mistakes out there. Justin Herbert was as advertised. the Chiefs kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy running into each other. And the way that game started, Kansas City just couldn't get anything going. And then Travis Kelce caught that touchdown on a pretty cool design play, like a fake screen type thing. And the Chiefs started being the Chiefs again. They started getting momentum. That offense started clicking, but the Chargers, they didn't falter. They stayed right there.
Yeah.
And then Justin Herbert had that little QB run down the sideline, slid, and that pretty much wrapped it up.
Yeah, Chargers are definitely showing, like we were kind of talking about before this game, but the Chargers are really look like they're taking that step to be the front runner in that division, and giving the Chiefs more competition in that division. So definitely a special team to look out for. Look like they'll be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
And coming in at number 4, we have Go Pack Go.
Yeah.
We have the Green Bay Packers.
They went in against the division rival, a playoff team from the year before, with a healthy Jordan Love, a receiver room that people always joke about, like, oh yeah, they have 3 wide receiver 3s, but the offense looks good. Micah made his presence felt a little bit, got his first sack as a Packer there. And I don't see any reason why the Packers could not be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. They will be a playoff contending team by the end of the season. And it seemed like they just keep adding weapons. Like you said, Micah looked great. I think he only had played around 30 snaps, but I'm sure the Lions felt every snap that he was on. He helped contribute to an interception, was in Goff's face throughout the whole game. Packers look really good against the Lions, so definitely in our top 5. And next we have, at no surprise, shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, Baltimore Ravens. Still a top team in this league, even with the loss. They look dominant in that game.
Yeah, and that goes to show you how good of a football team they are when they're ahead of 2 teams that won their games on this list. I think if they do all the right things, they don't have their collapse, and I think you're definitely looking at them being the number 2 or maybe even the number 1 team right now. It's just they always seem tough, and then they always seem to also let it slip away. But they're always going to be a top 5 team in this league.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then of course, also no shock to probably anyone, the team that they faced, Buffalo Bills, in at number 2 as our most extreme team in the league this week.
Yeah, and same goes for them. If they would have lost this game, like if those scores would have been flipped, I think they're still a top 3 team in the league. Like we mentioned before, with Josh Allen there, they're just gonna find ways to win these football games.
Yep, like you said, I mean, they were relentless. You had the reigning MVP, and they just beat the Ravens, which was a good team, and they had to come from behind to do so. So definitely top 2 in the league right now. And then to finish up, we have the reigning Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles. Played a good game against the Cowboys. Until someone beats them, until they, look like they took steps back, they're still the top team in the league.
Yeah, they were still doing everything well that they were doing last year. Able to create plays like with Hurts running the ball. Barkley he had a quiet game by his standards, but yeah, to quote the Nature Boy Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
There
So
you go.
until someone steps up and knocks them down, they will remain in the number one spot.
Yep, totally agree. So, I mean, just finishing up with some other news that came out today. Jalen Carter, he was fined one game check, $57,222, and will not face any suspension because he did miss the entire game against the Cowboys. He was fined today for that incident where he spit on Dak Prescott. Let's see what else we have. Niners. I know we talked about kickers earlier, but Niners kicker, they waived their kicker, Jake Moody. He was 1 of 3 versus the Seahawks this week, and they got rid of him quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they signed veteran kicker Eddie Pinheiro.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Jake Moody, 1 of 3, which obviously isn't, what you want from your kicker. But the bottom line is they won that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our kicker cost us the game twice, and
right.
And he's still, but he's also a rookie. But I think you got to give him a chance to, lock in, back it up. But if he comes out, I will say this right now: if we have a chance to beat Baltimore, and it comes down to this dude kicking one more time, and he misses, especially another push wide right, out. Do not bring this man back into the locker room.
Hey, with those Cleveland fans, he might come up missing. He may not report to the facility on Monday if that happened.
Yeah.
And then we have Tyreek Hill. Today it came out that he's dealing with some domestic violence claims. Some documents came out of his divorce proceedings that he may have had some alleged physical unwanted contact against his ex-wife. So
yeah,
something else is not good for the Dolphins right now.
No, and I think we've talked about this before, like when the Judkins thing was going on, you don't ever want to not believe when these accusations come out. But a lot of them end up settled anyway. So it's like you just kind of let money do the talking, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like the right way to do it. I don't think anything will come from this because it's a pretty regular occurrence, it seems, in the NFL.
Yeah, sadly,
and nothing ever really.
Yeah, sadly it is. If it does come out that he was guilty of this, he definitely should be penalized, and especially with 8 occurrences. I know it's only coming out because it's in the divorce documents, but if it is some truth to this, he definitely should face some type of disciplinary action. Because they can't have that in the NFL, period, but also in the NFL.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll wrap up today's episode. This was a fun one.
Yeah, and then we'll be recording again shortly after this with our week 2 picks and previews, and also going over how our week 1 picks turned out. See if we're a couple bums, or maybe we know ball a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. And we have a big game coming up, Commanders Packers on Thursday. Considering going live for that one, should be a fun one. Hopefully we can do some things in that game. But yeah, Commanders Packers on Thursday. You know who I'm going with. Definitely going with the Commanders. Whoa! Breaking news. But no, yeah, definitely going with the Commanders. So yeah, look forward to that one.
Yeah, we kind of dove. Off screen, we kind of dove into the week 2 matchups a little bit. We should have some more good games coming this week.
Oh yeah.
The NFL season is up and fully running. The cat's back here.
We got our mascot cat coming in. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. We thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live, when we drop another episode. And definitely like and drop a comment of what you thought about this episode and what you'd like to see.
Yeah.